Okay, next is one that's a bit of a misnomer, and it's the async network I/O wait type. And you would think from a name like async network I/O that it would imply that the problem is you've got slow network I/O, and that's the first thing everybody assumes. But it's not the case. It's like in the book Series of Unfortunate Events, where they referred to the incredibly deadly viper that happened to not be incredibly deadly at all. So the async network I/O wait type is very rarely ever associated with a network issue. It can be on a rare occasion, but usually it's not. So usually the way this happens is that SQL Server is waiting for the client to consume data. Now, let's say you've got a program that's running client side, and your program runs a query and then it loops over the result set, and it's really slow in processing that result set and displaying on the screen. What's happening at that point, and let's say it's slow not because of the database speed, but because of something in the application. What's happening at that point is all SQL Server sees is that there's this network connection open where it's sending data to the client, and it, from SQL Server's perspective, it can't tell that it's the client that's slow or if it's the network that's slow. So if the client's really slow, all SQL Server sees is that the network is slow at taking that data that it's sending out. So the way to look at and honestly on this one, in my career, I've maybe seen once or twice that async network I/O was actually caused by a network issue. And that was back in the old days when networks were a lot slower. But the way you deal with this one is by optimizing client apps to process the data faster, or in the rare occasion that it's actual network issue, is to increase the network bandwidth. So an example of this would be Microsoft Access. Not a big fan of Access just on some of the crazy things it does with SQL Server load and waits and blocking. But Microsoft Access, if you open up a SQL Server table in Microsoft Access, it will hold that connection open until you page down to see the next page of data, and then it will pull the data in from SQL Server at that point. So simply by running Microsoft Access, connecting to a SQL Server and having a table open, you will get crazy amounts of async network I/O. I would hope that Microsoft would fix that one day in Access. But just like Access, it could happen in any client application that's churning through, usually looping over a whole lot of data.
This reminds me of like you send a really long email and you're just sitting there waiting for somebody to read it.
Exactly. And if you're anything like me, the longer the email, usually the more I delay on actually getting around to responding to it. So yeah, async network I/O, kind of, a bad name for it. But from SQL Server's perspective, all it sees is that it's slow. Whoever's retrieving the data is slow, and usually it's a slow client application doing it, not the network. Thanks for watching. I'm Steve, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like it, please click the thumbs up icon. And if you want to subscribe, click subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to get notified when we have new videos. All right, have a great day.